What's going on, everyone? Jeremy here from the Quartering. Smash like! Don't you want to be in the crew of people that smashes like before the video even starts? Well, news is a little light this week, and it occurred to me that I had kind of fallen in a rut where I was basically just covering the same Hollywood drivel. Not that I'm not going to dunk on Hollywood still, or the same video game stuff. Not that I'm not going to dunk on Hollywood anymore, but there's been a particular niche of content that has existed unopposed by the Quartering for quite some time. And leaving Twitter, by the way, follow me on Parler or join my Discord or the subreddit. Leaving Twitter has kind of made me get a little introspective to think about, what's going on with my content. How can I diversify and serve more people? This week, views are bizarre and weird, and interest in topics is shifting. Well, how about this one? Masks are giving men a license to leer at women. Women report a rise in aggressive eye contact. What? What? This is a real article written in the year of our Lord 2020. Are masks giving men a license to leer? Women report a rise in aggressive eye contact since face coverings became commonplace, as an expert warns they provide anonymity for threatening behavior. World ends, women most affected. Women across the country are reporting a rise in aggressive eye contact since the introduction of face coverings in some public spaces. New laws introduced over the weekend force customers to wear face masks in all shops, stations, banks, and post offices. Yeah, we'll see if this ever gets repealed. While it's also mandatory to wear face coverings on public transport. But many women have been sharing stories online of aggressive eye contact and hard staring from men wearing masks, with one tweeting, "Grown men staring at you with a mask on is worse than if they don't have a mask." UN Women UK Director Claire Bennett told Female, "As we work to build back better during lockdown, we need to prevent a lack of witnesses of antisocial behavior due to less populated public spaces, as well as the anonymity of face coverings that they can provide, leading to further rises in harassment and threatening actions towards women, girls, and minoritized groups." I like how they always just lump this all in and just say, why don't they just say what they really mean? Not white men. I mean, that's what they mean, right? White men bad, everyone else victimized by white men. That's what this article, right? That's what this article is about. Women are complaining. Ha! Shocking! Boom! You make it too easy, Daily Mail. Women are complaining about a rise in intimidating behavior from men wearing masks, who are many taking to social media to share their stories. Oh, I'm sure they're harrowing. One person commented, "Does anybody feel like men are way more aggressively demanding eye contact in public space since we all started wearing masks? How are men demanding eye contact?" Like, I am legitimately asking, how are they demanding it? Another wrote, "Seriously? We all are wearing masks, and some men keep staring. What the deuce is wrong?" Quote, do men realize that masks don't cover our eyes and we can still see them staring like creepy pieces of garbage they are? Yes, men bad. When your ovaries are an elephant's graveyard and you're in your 60s alone, surrounded by cats, I wonder why. You'll still blame men for that. A jaunt downtown revealed men do not understand the anatomy of masks. "The masks do not cover your eyes. I can still see you staring, idiots." All of these women, I will guarantee you, are single. Guarantee. Claire told Female that the crisis continues to have a damaging effect on women's economic opportunities with social experiences and health, so it remains more important than ever that women can move freely through public space without intimidation. She explained, "As a part of our campaign to make the UK's public space safer and more inclusive for women and girls. But what about minoritized people? Uh-oh. We're hearing reports of rising harassment and threatening behavior in the streets and on transport, in addition to clearly documented rise of bad behavior in the home. Well, maybe if you didn't lock everyone in their houses, I mean, just saying. Maybe if you didn't shut down the economy, just saying. I'm not saying that I can say for sure that it's not supposed to be. I'm just saying I guarantee you we will have in the United States a legendary level of divorce rate in 2020. I had 2 couple friends already get divorced in July. By July. Why is that? Well, because you're forcing everyone to stay home. You're stressing everybody out. I mean, there couldn't possibly be any byproduct from lockdown. Couldn't possibly. It's just universally good. Masks have been compulsory on public transport since July 15th after evolving scientific advice suggested they could stop spreading. And then back in February and March, they said they wouldn't. So by August, what are we going to believe? But over the weekend, new laws were introduced to make face coverings mandatory in shops, supermarkets, and enclosed shopping centers, as well as train stations, banks, post offices, building societies, bus stations, and airports. Failure to comply is a $100 fine on the spot, though police forces have indicated that they will only respond as a last resort. Yeah, because they have mean tweets to worry about. I mean, did you hear there's this dude that trained his dog to do this trick? Yeah. I mean, that's way more important than people not wearing masks. Scotland Yard hopes shoppers who refuse to wear them will be shamed into compliance. A mask can only be removed in a shop for a small number of reasons, such as allowing staff to check someone's identity or age or to communicate with a deaf lip reader. Shop staff do not have to wear coverings, but it's strongly recommended. Oh, so the people that work there don't have to. Interesting. That employers ask them to do unless they have other precautions such as screens. New rules are contentious, with some finding masks uncomfortable and some libertarians complaining that they are being muzzled by the state. Look, as I've said, I know this is a divisive issue. If you feel like a thin cotton thing over your face is going to protect you, then you should do it. But then I would ask that you also wear it during flu season every year. In fact, just wear it year round. I choose to shop at stores that don't require it, or if they do require it, I'll wear one, just like a normal, good little person. But I'm not going to shame someone else for not wearing it. It's not my right. I also don't believe that they're creating this magic barrier. As I see most people just pulling their masks out of their pocket. They're all dirty and used. Then they're throwing it in their car. They're hanging it from their rearview mirror. Yeah, super safe. Now, if you want to pass out new clean ones every time someone walks in a shop, I'd support that. But the COOF is a disaster for feminism. Enough already when people try to be cheerful about social distancing and working from home, noting that William Shakespeare and Isaac Newton did some of their best work while England was ravaged by the plague. There's an obvious response. Neither of them had childcare responsibilities. Shakespeare spent most of his career in London, where theaters were, while his family lived in Stratford upon Avon. During the plague of 1606, the playwright was lucky to be spared. Well, yeah. Purely as a physical illness, the COOF appears to affect women less severely. Oh no! How could we spin this into it being worse for them? But in the past few days, the conversation has broadened. We are not just living through the public health issue, but an economic one, as much of normal life is suspended for 3 months. Oh, by the way, people that are at work, I don't think that's people who are, businesses that are shut down. I don't think they're choosing which gender to lay off. At the same time, school closures and household isolations are moving the work of caring for children from the paid economy, nurses, schools, and babysitters to the unpaid one. Well, I mean, unemployment is a thing, but it's not much. I agree. Everything smashes up the bargain that many dual earner couples had made in the developed world. We can both work because someone else is looking after our children. Maybe we need to look at that, by the way. Maybe we need to look at how people were in general much happier in the 50s. I have nothing against women working. My wife is a career woman. She's got a chemistry degree. But she hates her job. I guarantee she'd be happier at home. That doesn't mean that I don't want her to work or that I don't think she should. But the idea that women have to work is an interesting one. It's worth discussing. Times change. In the 50s and 60s, the woman stayed home and took care of the family. And I'm sure things weren't perfect then either. I, for one, would love to be a stay-at-home dad. My wife started out on the path of becoming a pharmacist, and that was literally my plan. But things didn't work out. Not matter. Now, many stories of arrogance are related to this. Among the most exasperating is the West's failure to learn from history. We also saw declining rates in childhood vax and all this kind of stuff. Look, I'm not going to read through this article. It's awful. Look, the entire point of this article is that people are laid off and now we have to care for our kids that most of us chose to have. I don't have any time for that. You wanted to have kids in the overwhelming majority of cases. Take care of your kids. Stop being lazy parents. Stop throwing an iPad at them and expecting it to raise them. And maybe, the next generation will turn out better than the millennials did, because many of them were raised, or the early, late millennials are being raised, in front of the TV. And I don't know how well that worked out, being a millennial myself. I hope you enjoyed this video, though. Stay safe out there, ladies. I hear it's rough out there. Hope you enjoyed it. We'll talk to you again real soon.